Hello again, Owls. Okay, challenge 2 now for you. Okay, so again, we're going to use our Maisie Goes Camping to help us with this challenge. And this time, we are going to be thinking about doing some counting on, just like you've been practicing this week. And in the story, Maisie Goes Camping, there is some examples of counting on. And it happens in the story when each character goes into the tent. So first we start with 1 in the tent, and then another goes into the tent. So we now have 2 in the tent, and that's what we're going to practice today. So what I'd like you to do for your second challenge is I'd like you to make a tent, and you're going to use some toys and have a little go at putting them inside your tent, and then you're going to say some sentences about how many you have in your tent. And by doing this, you're going to be practicing some more of your counting on skills. So I'll show you now how you could do this. So I have just got a normal piece of paper here, and I've just folded it over to make myself a little tent. So I'm going to stand it up. So now I have a tent, just like Maisie's tent in the story. And I have got some little bears here. Now you could use anything. You might have some toys that you could use around your house. If you don't have toys, you could use counters. You could use maybe a craft material if you've got some little pom-poms. Anything is fine. So I've just got 5 little bears in front of me, and I'm going to start with 5. But you could always get up to 10 if you want to keep practicing. So what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to start with nothing in my tent. So at the moment I can say there is nothing, there is 0 in my tent. And what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put, oh dear, my tent won't stand up now. Come on, tent. Let's get it to stand up. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 of my bears. So here he goes. My yellow bear is going into my tent. So now I can say 1 is in the tent. I'm going to add another to my tent. So 1 teddy is in the tent. Another teddy goes into the tent. Now there are, so think about, I had 1 in the tent and I've put another 1 in. So if I'm counting on from 1, then I now have 2 in my tent. And I can double check. There are my 2 teddies that were in my tent. And there we go. So I'm going to put them back in my tent. So I have 2 in my tent. And I'm going to carry on now. So 2 in my tent. 1 bear goes in. Now there are, and I'm going to count on from my 2. I'm going to count up 1. I'm going to say now there are 3 in my tent. And again, you can move your tent to the side and you can check by counting 1, 2, 3. Well done. There are 3 in my tent. So let's carry on. Let's try one more time. Here's my tent. Back up. Remember, there are 3 in my tent. Another 1 goes in. There are now, how many do you think in my tent now? I had 3 in my tent and I've put another 1 into my tent. So you can use your fingers to help you. So we had 3, 1, 2, 3 in my tent. Another 1 has gone in. How many have I got in my tent now? 4. Well done. Shall we double check? Let's see. Have we got 4 in our tent? Yes, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. Okay, great job, everybody. So that's what I'd like you to have a little go at. Make your own tent. Find yourselves some little figures, some bears, some counters, some of your toys, and I want you to practice putting in your objects or your figures into your tent, and each time you put them in, you're going to tell me how many there are now in the tent. Okay, I can't wait to see how you get on with this as well. See you later, Owls.